Okay, we're still in Barber at the vintage ARHMA event, and this is the second race of the day. I had raced the vintage class earlier, and I'm racing the post vintage now. Back on my IT 200 old blue, and getting ready to get after it with all these other post vintage bikes. 10 seconds. Let's go racing. Got a good start. This is a different view. That was really short start for the front line. Tommy Beater got out front, and Chris Gillespie is in second. And, I'm coming up in third. Bob a little bit in the corner, a little bit hard to see some of the ruts with the dust. After the race earlier in the morning, the track got the dirt got turned up a little bit, and it made it that much worse for the dust. But all you could do is just kind of watch the bike in front of you, and if you seen it react to hitting something, you need to hold on a little bit harder for a few seconds. It's a big advantage of racing the vintage race earlier in the morning, because you got a chance to run the track and get familiar with it a little bit, whereas if you didn't, you kind of coming in blind. I don't know if Chris thought I was revving the motor up for him to move over, but actually I'm bad about accidentally hitting neutral, and but anyway, checked up and let me get by, and I appreciate that. I'm going to just let this run continuous the whole first lap, and just run the first lap and then show some bits after that. But as you can see, Tommy Beater has checked out, and even much of his dust trail around, so that's a good thing. Don't have to deal with the dust. Some of these straightaways, you can stretch it out and get some speed up on them. After this weekend, you can I was able to run really hard this track. You know, it was good and smooth, and wasn't rutted, pooped out real bad, and I was able to run hard, but I still got work I need to do to try to get faster. A couple of things that I kind of know I need to improve on. I need to start using front brakes more often, a little bit harder. Don't use a lot of front brake. I mostly use rear brake, and probably run into the corners a little bit harder and brake harder, and probably need to stand up more. I sit down a lot. So anybody that's got any suggestions, leave me a comment, because Tommy Beater's checked out. I need to find out how to get a little closer to it. Yeah, it's always fun when you can stay in the gas and run really hard. Makes you feel like you're going a lot faster. May not be that much difference, but when you're in the gas, it feels a lot faster and a lot funner. I think last year when they had this race, actually I think the last 2 years, they had a bunch of rain, and I think it was a mud fest. So I don't know if everybody was happy that it was dry and dusty, or wish it was wet and muddy, but this was this first trip I've ever came over here, and really enjoyed it. Had fun the whole weekend, and bike showed, all the swap meet and road racing and trials was earlier in the morning, so there was a lot going on. Really great weekend. Old Blue's running good. Seems like towards the end of the race, on both days I raced, it seems like I could tell the power went down a little bit after he got hot. I don't know if it's that or my imagination, but right now on the first lap he's running good and strong. some of these hills are starting to get powdery. There's some spectators there cheering everybody along. As most of you probably know, the videos don't really show you the steepness of some of these hills. So some of these hills are pretty steep. They don't ever look that bad on camera. Getting close to the end of lap 1. Right here's where I had the trouble with the MX on the earlier race. That was always in the back of your mind, but Old Blue handled it pretty good. Lap 1 in the books. Some of you younger sort guys ought to look into getting some vintage or post-vintage bikes and come race some of these ARHMA events and get out here with some of the older guys and ride. They most all of us in our just out here racing. You know, we grew up riding this era of bikes back in the day, and the bike I really learned how to ride on was a Yamaha DT 175 1976 model, and rode it for a couple of years, and it had 4 inches of suspension, but I didn't know no different. That was some best bike I'd ever had at the time, so I rode the wheels off of it and learned how to ride. And then several years later, I got a 1985 IT200, and of all the bikes that I had when I was a kid, that was my favorite one, best one. But when you're coming from a 4-inch suspension, it don't take a whole lot to be better. But so that was the last bike I had. I think in 1988, and I got I don't know, 30-something years later, got back into motorcycles and went back to the IT200, and they good bikes. Ain't nothing like the new bikes with the suspension and power that they have. They good lightweight bikes, and they do pretty good. We going into lap 4 now. No, we're in lap 3, and come by somebody on an IT back there. Looked like they was having a little problem. Looks like somebody else on the IT. I think that may be a 200 as well. They was several ITs here racing the weekend, and several KDXs and Husqvarnas, and a lot of different bikes. Some of them I ain't that familiar with, because I didn't grow up with some of the Hintons and the different ones like that, so I'm not that familiar with them. But they all neat looking bikes, and they were the mean dudes back in the day. Coming in now, we're closing out the 4th lap, headed into closing out the 3rd lap. I keep getting ahead. So now we're going into the 4th lap. I think this is my buddy Henry from he was a IT rider, and he swapped up and went to the KDX, and not sure if this is him. I can't tell. I thought he had a taillight lens on his bike, but I can't remember what color his gear was. But I may be wrong, but I think this fella here was in his 80s. That somebody had told me, that if I wasn't mistaken, that was the guy that he was. So that's pretty good to be 80 and still be out here riding cross country. Somebody else on a Kawasaki. good, steep, long hill. Giving the IT all he wants to climb up it. Coming up right here, kind of the last thing you want to see when you're racing. You come over the hill and see that somebody's wrecked, and get to where you see who it is, and it's one of your good friends. So that's always bad. And I had tried to stop and let his friends and let Sash know, and that way they could try to be getting ready to do whatever they needed to do to get in touch with who they needed to get in touch with, because he looked like he was hurt pretty bad, and luckily he wasn't as bad as what it looked like, and he ended up had some broke bones, and thought maybe he might have a concussion, but he ended up he didn't. I was going to get back to the scoring tent to let them know who had wrecked and where he was, and I appreciate all the help of everybody that helped get him out, and the guy that stayed there with him the whole time while he was out on the track. And luckily he wasn't as bad as what we thought he was. He was got a couple of fractures, and so anyway, thanks for watching.